Yeah, but I just went live. All right, guys. So we'll get going here on this update with the latest. Give me just a second here. If you can, share it with a friend. We do have a tornado warning now that has been issued for Western Indiana. And I want to go over now the details there. Radar indicated it'll expire in the next 40 minutes. The potential for hail up to 1.5 inches in diameter. And this is going to go for, let's see here, Terre Haute, Brazil, West Terre Haute. The tornado warning is for central Vigo County in West Central Indiana and northern Clay County in Western Indiana. Looks like Brett has just logged on. Brett, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Just going over this latest warning real quick, just updating the viewers here. Like I said, 1.5 inch hail is the for the warning there, warned for 1.5 inch hail, if you will. You can see the scan there, bringing in the latest view now on the south side of Terre Haute. On the south side of Terre Haute, again, this is coming right into the Terre Haute metro area. Really a concerning look here. You look at the rotation, it is just west of Allendale, south of 70, and just west of 41 here. Again, a concerning look now, just southwest of Terre Haute Metro. You can see kind of where this hook would be. That's an even more pronounced scan there on the latest run, or the latest scan, and you can see where that hook would be. This tornado or this storm now, we'll see if any reports come out. Brett can kind of check as we're watching this to see if any confirmed ground reports are coming in. But again, for the southern part of Vigo or central Vigo County, the southern portion of Terre Haute Metro, what I want to do right now, just real quick, is this storm is moving east at 40 miles per hour. I'm going to time out the location where rotation might be, where the tornado might actually be occurring, and try to give you an idea of where that storm is going to go. This is, if we take it just about like this at 40 miles per hour, it's looking like in the immediate time frame, Terre Haute 443 on the south side here. Zoom in a little bit closer, just north into Spring Hill. Let's see. Oh, gosh, dimming woods. This new feature, Brett, where they don't show the locations is a little frustrating.
Yeah, I'll hop on Radar Scope and kind of time it out that way.
Yeah. Let's see. Cherryvale 453, Cloverland 455. Again, it's moving into Swalls. It'll come to just south side of Dimming Woods and just north of Spring Hill. It's really going to go along and just north of 70 here. I'm going to, boy, that latest scan is even more concerning here. I'm going to turn that polygon fill off just a little bit. That is a concerning look here.
I think as this continues to push further east, it's just going to get into a more favorable environment. Certainly that's what some of the latest data was indicating too. So I think it just probably continues to intensify.
Yeah, I agree. If anything, too, I'm curious to see kind of a right turn here at any minute. Luckily, the core of that rotation looks to be southeast of Terre Haute Metro. Let's see. Let's get a. I'm on Evansville's radar. Let's see if I have. I'm not really in a good spot to be on Indy just yet. We're kind of in between radars there.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll zoom in
Yeah.
close. Go
So
ahead.
I've got this kind of on the 465 East 465 loop by about 6:35, 6:45, somewhere in there. It's about 2 hours out, I would say, from the east side of Indy. Based off, I got about 40 miles an hour on it.
Okay. 40 miles an hour moving straight kind of east northeast or just east directly?
I think right now east northeast, but I do want to watch it because sometimes as these things intensify, they tend to move a little bit more west to east, which would threaten more of the south side of Marion County, north side of Johnson County if it were to do that. But I think right now it's kind of tracking right along I-70.
Yeah. Yeah. It sure looks to be that way. I'm going to go into one frames view here real quick and go into the high res velocity scan just to see, you guys can see where the rotation is. This is where we would be obviously most concerned. Allendale, Spring Hill area. If there's a tornado on the ground, it would be here, and it'll be moving right along and just south or right along I-70. It may come right over the top of it here. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is a tornado warning that will expire in 40 minutes. This tornado warning right now for Vigo County, and then it will get into portions of northern Clay County, and this will go until 5:15. It's moving east around 40 miles per hour. There's a new scan there. The new scan, not as impressive.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's kind of cycling a little bit. Also, some more development trying kind of out by Effingham in Illinois, trying to get their act together. They're not quite there yet, I would say, most of this activity. It's trying, but it's not quite to the criteria. But you can see on a lot of these, they're trying to rotate. They're just not quite there yet.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone just posted there's a camera you can look at here. That Wabash Valley sky camera. You see that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and check it out.
All right. So for those of you just tuning in, guys, we're watching this tornado warned thunderstorm now in Vigo County that we'll get into again. It's a tornado warning for the next 34 minutes. The latest scan was a little bit more encouraging for less of a signature of a tornado. It'll get into Clay County as soon as it moves out of Vigo County. But that latest scan there was certainly a little bit less organized. Let's just hope now that it's not cycling or becomes a little bit more pronounced here in the next 10 minutes or so. Sometimes these storms can cycle and organize. So we'll just kind of see how that plays out here. Let's see here.
It's hard to tell on these. It almost looks like I'm wondering if there's some hail sideways there on the camera in downtown Terre Haute because it almost looks like snow. If I didn't know any better, so I'm gonna guess that they're getting some pretty decent wind right now. And potentially some hail. I don't see any kind of funnel cloud or anything like that. But I'll keep that up here and keep an eye on it.
If there is, the newest scan would be just south of Deming Woods, just northeast of Spring Hill, right along I-70. That's where that hook is. If there's a tornado, if there's something on the ground, that's where it would be in this particular location. Again, just along I-70, just north of 70, or right at it here in Terre Haute as of the latest scan. The tornado warning is still in effect here for Vigo County, and it will go into Clay County as soon as it moves out of here. Nothing in terms of reports or anything official yet. The latest scan, Brett, did go back certainly more organized there with that. So it looks like this cell might be cycling.
Yeah. There's a storm chaser on it. I'm going to open up his live stream and see if he's seen anything.
Okay. Well, Brett's checking that out. Again, here's the latest scan here. just north of State Road 641, where it curves turns into 40, and I-70, where those intersect. That's where that rotation is most prevalent now. And this scan a little bit more organized. The unfortunate part is we're kind of in between radar domes, so we're having a hard time getting a really good view at what is actually going on here with this. Nonetheless, this scan was certainly a little bit more organized. That go around. Here's another new scan coming in now. Let's zoom back in here. Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. Certainly impressive, Brett, in terms of the look there. This would be.
Yeah, I'm also seeing these storms out to the west, trying to hook that are out towards between Effingham and Charleston.
Okay, let's go over here and check that out. Yep, I can see that there on radar now. I'll check out that radar out there in central Illinois. Yep, you can see they're all trying to take on that look.
It's not super impressive yet, but definitely starting to see that broad rotation.
Yep.
So that's another one that I think we'll have to keep an eye on. And these, to be honest, Michael, they're kind of lining up.
Yeah.
Which is a concerning trend, I think.
Yeah, it is. Normally when you see this, these cells are they're not really going to go linear. They're going to remain individually structured, which can mean they can all become tornado warned really in a line as they travel northeast here. Looks like that cell is really trying to miss the one maybe to watch after. This one's probably going to be just south of Effingham here. So
yeah,
this is an indication of anything. It's going to be a long next couple of hours, guys, with probably some multiple tornado warnings coming through the central portion of the state. So something to keep in mind there. Let's kind of I'll come out here and just get a view. It looks like that's the only warned storm in Indiana right now. We'll go back into this cell right now. It's coming out of soon here out of Clay County or Vigo County, getting into Clay County. I'm going to go to the Indy radar now. It's getting closer, Brett. Quite the hook there on the Indy radar. But the rotation, the scan is it's just on the outer edge of that, Tough to get a good view on where that rotation would be at. Let's see.
Somebody just said tornado on the ground 7 miles southwest of Terre Haute. Well, it'd be past Terre Haute now. So let me see if I can confirm that.
Yeah. Just so that Colin Newsom says tornado on the ground 7 miles southwest of Terre Haute. And it would definitely be past Terre Haute. See if we can get any confirmed reports of that. There for a minute, I certainly can see how that would have happened. I mean, there for a second, that scan was impressive. In fact, if we kind of go look at that here, I can probably tell you where that would have happened. Probably about right here. That was 8 minutes ago. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not seeing anything else from.
Where's your source at, Colin? I'm curious. Where did you see that? Live scanner, he says. Interesting. Okay. Well, thanks for letting us know. We'll certainly monitor that. Maybe ping Slack, Brett, and see if they've seen anything. Got a new scan coming in now. We'll see what this does. Still got that hook there. I mean, if anything, if there's a tornado here at all, it's probably going to be again just northwest of I-70. It's trying, but we'll go in here. If anything, Swalls, Indiana, Grange Corner, just northwest, just north of 70 there. I don't like how it always constantly does that if you click on that, but it would be right in through here if there was a tornado moving pretty quickly. at about 40, 45 miles per hour. Not super fast, but we're kind of just kind of waiting to see. Again, this tornado warning is going to go for another 27 minutes. So if you're Cherryvale, Swalls, northwest of Grange Corner along I-70, you're definitely going to want to be, taking shelter until we can confirm or deny a tornado on the ground. There is a tornado warning. It's heading probably just right along the I-70 corridors where it's really going to continue to track. If it's moving at 40 miles per hour, I'll put some cities out ahead of the path here at 40, and you can see just kind of who it's going to hit and where. Swalls 451, Cherryvale 455, Billville 505, Brazil at 506, Knightstown at 509, Harmony at 510, and the path, there's about 10,000 people out ahead of this as it travels along and north of 70. There's another new scan. There's still a hook there. Greencastle, it's probably going to go south of you a little bit.
So I am seeing a picture on Twitter from Tyler Kurtz of a wall cloud that was 9 minutes ago in Terre Haute.
Okay.
I'll see if I can send that over to myself and I can share it.
Here's a comment. I live in Terre Haute. I've not heard of anything that has been confirmed. We appreciate that. Pull out here. Let's see. Get off there. Right now, guys, we're kind of just in the sitting and watch, see how these storms evolve. There's that image there. Looks like, and according to what he's got on here, Brett, we probably shouldn't show that if I had to guess. I can't hear you if you're talking. Your sound is...
Sorry. Here's another one.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to tell if that's a wall cloud or a leading edge. I think it is a wall cloud.
Sloppy looking wall cloud for sure. The area to watch, guys, is I'll kind of update you all on what we're seeing as this stuff all starts to move into the area. What we're going to watch for is see if we can get this to load here. I wanted to. No, it doesn't want to load. Doesn't want to loop for me, of course. We're going to watch this area here over the next, 2 to probably 3 hours. These thunderstorms that are developing out through here are going to move east and northeast across the area, and pose the potential to bring tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. To the extent of what are they going to do, it's really hard to know that. But I would say that if you're along and north of this line here, Bloomington to Columbus over towards 74, and then you go up in here towards Marion, Lafayette, we're kind of drawing this area here. I would say if you're in this area over the next, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, as these storms move in the area, that's where we're going to be looking at the potential for them to rotate and produce tornadoes and severe hail as well. So that's the path of the storm for those of you asking.
I'm not really seeing anything else right now of super great concern, which is good.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, it's just kind of getting going across Eastern Illinois.
Yeah. This storm here, I mean, it's still, it's got a hook on it. It's still not a terrible looking storm. It certainly could produce a tornado at any minute. So far, we don't have any confirmation of that. It's getting into Clay County now, north central Clay County. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Staunton, Indiana, just along and north of I-70, Turner, just south of Knightsville, Harmony, Brazil being the main city there. you are up for this. So you are in the tornado warning for the next 10, 15 minutes. If you're in the path in that area there, especially if you're right through Brazil, Staunton, along in north here in 70, going through State Road 40 there, definitely be in shelter at least over the next 10 to 15 minutes, just to be certain. Stay away from windows and try to be in your safe place, if you will. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else right now, Michael.
Yep.
In terms of reports.
Copy that. Pull this back out. Yeah, I mean
definitely looking at the cam in Terre Haute, certainly a decent looking wall cloud. I'm just looking at a little time lapse as it went through, and I do see rotation too, but I don't see any kind of actual lowering.
Okay.
But definitely a wall cloud, definitely rotation, but not seeing any kind of actual tornado on that.
While we're kind of waiting, guys, and watching, I mean, that new scan is certainly nothing to bat an eye at. I mean, there's a hook there. It's not. It's again. This is not a saying that there's no threat here. There's certainly a threat for this to produce a tornado at any time. But while we're kind of watching this and waiting, if you're in northern Clay County, make sure you're in your safe spot. I'm going to go and show you something real quick on the latest WARN-ON weather model, which again is updating every half an hour, and it's got an impressive look here in terms of what it's going to do. I'm going to go zoom in here if I can.
What's crazy is it has that cell in Terre Haute.
It does. It's nailing it right there, right along and north of 70. You can see that. That's the rotation swath. And you can see it's bringing it in to Indianapolis metro area by, what is that, 625, which is probably spot on. And then you can see it might try to strengthen again just around and east of Indy and Hancock County there with a nasty look. And then by 7 o'clock, Morgan and Johnson and Shelby County see a storm that would develop and offer up rotation. So you can see the threat is certainly should expand or at least intensify in coverage here over the next 2 hours, especially across central Indiana and the I-70 in and around the I-70 corridor. This particular run of this model has a nasty suggestion of a I can't zoom in. There we go. Nasty suggestion of a long track supercell for eastern Indiana along the I-70 corridor. It may come from this storm, actually. But regardless, this model continues to indicate the next 2 to 3 hours are going to be busy here across the I-70 corridor as these storms continue to mature and develop.
So I just sent you, Michael, an image from Michigan City. So if you all saw our map, and I think Michael showed it on the last live stream, we were also concerned about kind of up in northern Indiana along the lake and into southwestern Michigan. And that cell has produced some gnarly hail up there.
Weird looking, isn't it? Pull that up here.
Yeah. And it's jagged. That would hurt.
Yeah. Yes, it would. Here's that image there of the hail that in Michigan City with possible brief tornado as well. But that's wild looking hailstones there for sure. For those of you asking if your comments are coming through, you have to understand we are getting thousands of comments. Literally, there's no way we can keep up with your comments. If we see something that really sticks out, we'll certainly try to acknowledge it. But there's just no way we can keep up with the comments, guys.
We've got comments on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube going all at the same time.
Yeah, there's no way. So, okay, new scan here coming in. That storm still is impressive looking.
New watches coming in.
New tornado watch?
Yep, new tornado watch. Sorry, my cats are going crazy in the background. So if you hear anything, that's probably what it is. Just day in my life. Northwestern Ohio, Southeast Michigan, looks like. Just kind of expanding that particular area there.
Okay.
Not sure if it's in yet or not. There it goes.
There it comes. Yep. So it looks like they're expanding the watch there. Lima, Lansing. I would imagine here in eastern Indiana, there it is there. I'm sure it's going to populate here as well. Columbus.
Yeah, it's not. Doesn't look like they've issued it in Eastern Indiana yet.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But they should. I would expect that to happen soon.
Yeah. Well, on Clarity, there's the new watches coming in again. South Central Michigan. It'll go for another 6 hours here. So from now until about 11 p.m. looks like that tornado watch will go. We'll take it closer here real quick, and I'll turn off the watches so you can kind of see what we're looking at here. Put this into motion. Again, we're watching all of these cells start to develop. We're going to see what these cells want to do, where they're going to go, and just see what they can do. Right now, we're just kind of, watching and waiting to see what's gonna happen. But the cells being individual like in nature, as we see right now, is something that we are certainly concerned about. That we'll monitor for sure. What is that Matt just sent? Is that the surface to 2 kilometer?
That is, yeah, that's the storm relative wind.
Interesting. Okay.
I think the only limiting factor, I'm just kind of going through and looking at some of the analysis right now. The main limiting factor that I see is just a little bit of a southwest wind tendency. Something just happened. Let's see.
Yeah. New tornado warning in Southwest Michigan.
I was going to say I'm getting an alarm. Yeah, Southwest Michigan, kind of heading towards Kalamazoo. Anyway, the only limiting factor that I see is just a little bit of more of a southwest wind at the surface at times. Again, some of the data we talked about it earlier tries to turn that back more out of the south as we go further throughout the evening. And I think that's probably why that WARN-ON NSSL that you were showing as kind of an idea of where some of these stronger cells could be really ramps up as it works closer to the Indianapolis metro area. And so I'm really curious how this evolves as it works closer to Danville and Martinsville and Franklin, Indianapolis, and then obviously points off to the east from there, because that's where I think potentially the wind could turn in a little bit more of a favorable direction for rotation.
Brett, we want to show that?
Yep. Let me pull this up.
Someone said, please turn your phone ringer off. I apologize, but I'm not going to do that.
We need it, so we are getting reports from our team. All right, let me see if I can actually share my screen here. Okay, can you see that?
I can.
Okay, so here's kind of what I'm talking about. If I zoom all the way in, I know it's probably going to be a little bit blurry here, but southwest wind here right now across eastern Illinois and western Indiana, it's subtle, but the further north and east that you go, the winds are more out of the south. In fact, you go into western Ohio, it's even out of the southeast here. So the further east these storms work, the more favorable the environment should be for rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think that's the key. Do these winds stay more out of the south, further off to the east? If so, that is going to intensify the rotation as they work a little bit further off to the east. The other thing that I can pull up here is the surface to 1 kilometer wind shear. And again, this could be the only little limiting factor. You really want for stronger tornadoes 30 knots. So we're at 20-25. So I'll be curious to see if over the next hour this intensifies a little bit as the low-level jet kind of pushes into those more southerly winds.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. How does the just the environment, Brett, tornado parameter wise and everything, just the hail signatures and stuff, what are those looking like in terms of SARS and significant?
Yeah, here's the we'll do the effective significant tornado parameter.
Mm-hmm.
So again, pretty decent right now overall. Now this isn't the be all end all. Sometimes that there's more that goes into it than just that. If I pull up here the significant hail, you can also see Still kind of building in, not crazy across central Indiana right now, but I would say it's also not significant up where they had massive hail in northern Indiana either. So I'm not sure if this hasn't updated yet. It's as of 20Z, so I think it may be a little behind. Let me refresh. I think I'm just a little behind on this analysis. So
Gotcha. That's
maybe
cool.
why it's not showing up.
Okay, so while we're kind of watching that, what I'm gonna do is I'll switch back over to radar, and let's see, window. There's radar. We can pull that back up and kind of watch what's going on here. That cell is very interesting. If anything, it could be maybe outflow dominant. This forward flank downdraft is pretty big. Perhaps it's an outflow dominant storm at the moment.
Yeah, which is interesting because normally you see that type of look when there's too much shear, not enough instability, which is not what I would think would be happening right now.
Yeah, I agree. We'll continue to watch that nonetheless. Some of these other storms, they're trying to rotate. They haven't really started rotating yet. There's some indication of some spin trying to surface there. But I'm going to need to reboot my Omega here real quick. A little glitchy today. A little glitchy, I've noticed here. Go back.
I can, if you want me to, I can pull up mine.
Here we go. Try it again. There we go. Now the lightning's caught up.
Okay.
The lightning lags a little bit. Yeah, and we're just watching. So again, guys, we're just kind of waiting to see what these storms are going to do. We do believe that, let's kind of, there's a new warning up in Frankfurt. I'll cover that in just a second. We do believe that kind of along and probably east of this line I just drew. And I don't want to leave out people east of this. I think in here is really where these storms do have the potential to rotate and be problematic. I really do, especially the further east you go. And again, that Warn-On model is pretty aggressive with a couple of really rapidly rotating storms in here across the I-70 corridor. So we're just kind of in waiting and watching mode. With that said, there is a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going out for Frankfurt, and that is for the next 39 minutes, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to go for Clinton County until 5:45. This particular thunderstorm is actually going to be moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So with that in mind, we can kind of time that out here and give you an idea of who's going to be out ahead of that storm. Looks like you're going to be into, let's see, Frankfurt, 5:15. Beyond that, you've got Avery or Michigantown, 5:26. And then Kempton at 5:36. And just getting north and west there of Tipton near Goldsmith or West Middleton about 5:45. Okay, so I like what we told Kokomo schools, Brett. I'm glad we told them don't go. They got a storm moving in the next hour. They're going to get hit pretty good here. So I'm glad they're not doing anything.
Someone in the comments saying funnel cloud spotted by law enforcement in Frankfurt, 600 west, 550 north. It does look like there's some broad rotation there.
Yep, sure does. Where is that at? 600 west, 550 north. Let's go in here and turn this off. Let's see. Okay, interesting. Yeah, there's some broad rotation there. If this thing can tighten up next scan, it may not be out of the question that it would go tornado warned. There's the next scan coming in now. Not super organized, but regardless, if we want to watch that there, what was this? Clay County, Vigo County. What is this? Is can't remember, or Clinton. I'm sorry. I believe this is Clinton County. My apologies. Clinton County, 5:45. Again, I'm kind of watching with a funnel cloud being spotted. if there were to be rotation or a funnel cloud, it would be along and north here of State Road 38 and kind of move this direction, or maybe even a little bit more eastward here, south and east of Frankfurt. So we're going to watch that for sure. That severe thunderstorm warning again is going to go for another 37 minutes, okay, for Clinton County. So 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind. Go back here. No other warned storms here across the state just yet. Okay. I'm going to go out here and check out our radar out in central Illinois, see how it's looking. Turn our radar on. See how these storms are looking. Nothing too pronounced yet, huh?
I'm taking a look at some of the latest data. Still trying to put in additional storms 8, 9 o'clock south of I-70. So something to watch there too. Even if these storms for south of I-70 don't materialize as well, it does still look like we need to at least watch along the main boundary. Something later in the evening too.
Yeah. Okay.
Bloomington, Columbus, Seymour, kind of towards that area. And looking at the soundings, I mean, certainly impressive still.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay. I'm not seeing much else right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, if there's a new severe thunderstorm warning, we'll cover that here. Obviously, going to take this strongest part of the storm just south of Greencastle and north of Cloverdale, kind of in between the two cities there. This particular severe thunderstorm warning is going to be for 1.5 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That will be for basically, it looks like the southern part of Putnam County and the northeastern part of Clay County. So just getting out of Clay and then kind of southern Putnam there along and south of Greencastle and along and north of I-70 there. It'll be the strongest part of that storm. It's still capable of producing a tornado. The tornado warning is going to be allowed to probably expire here shortly. Severe thunderstorm warning for now. 1.5 inch hail is nothing to bat an eye at. That's big hail. But that looks like that warning is going to be extended east there into Putnam County. So let's take a look here. Maybe able to kind of share with you what that might look like here. Dual pole vertically integrated liquid. Yeah, there's where the big hail would be occurring in this particular scan. We'll go back to see if I can change this and go into, there we go. So you can see where that hail would be just south of 40 there. That hail core is near Reelsville. Say that 3 times fast.
Reelsville. I can't even say it once.
Southwest of Manhattan. So 1.5 inch hail there, not out of the question. Looking at radar, some of those heavier vertically integrated liquid returns there, certainly some big hail. So if you're out underneath that thing, be careful. Along and north of 70, that's a nasty look there.
There's a report from somebody in the comments.
Let's see here. Where are you at? Golf ball sized hail in Reelsville. Okay, that's helpful there. Thank you for that report. So that is right here in near Pleasant Gardens, along and just north of 40. Again, we can go and show you what that looks like on radar. Just south of Reelsville. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to say that word, but there's the obvious and clear indication of golf ball sized hail. Certainly a impressive signature there. So thank you for that report, Matthew. Helpful. Okay.
Let's see, Brazil, some hail in Brazil. Some people asking why watches are cutting off further off to the east in Indiana. I'm not sure. I think they need to be expanded.
Mm-hmm. So this is interesting, Brett. There in northeastern Montgomery County, that is an impressive look on the radar right there, that hook signature. I'm going to go over here. Boy, that's a nasty hail signature too, just east of Manson, Indiana. wow, southwest of Frankfort. You're probably getting some pretty big hail there, right along West County Road 300 South, getting into South County Road 200 West. Nasty hail signature. But then also, what's catching my attention here is this storm here. Now it's not doing anything yet in terms of rotation, but it's an interesting hook-like signature there on radar. We'll have to watch that one closely for sure. Brett, you see Adam over there in Slack saying his concern is lack of storm relative helicity. How's that looking? SRH. Makes sense.
Let's see. It is looking at surface to 1 kilometer. It's about 200 right now. 150 to 200. Let me look at my little cheat sheet here. Something new.
New warning. It looks like an expansion of that tornado warning up there in Southwest Michigan. If you've got any friends, family, anyone, and just west of Kalamazoo along 94, 1.75-inch hail is the indication, and that tornado warning will go for the next 31 minutes. And that is going to be for eastern Van Buren County in southwestern Michigan until 5:45. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. So with that said, if you are in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is one of the bigger cities up there, 5:47 p.m. looks to be the time of impact for you with that tornado warning storm. So that nasty storm was well modeled by the Warnon model. And it's been going since southwest of Chicago. So the Warnon did really well with seeing this thunderstorm activity up there, Brett, I think is.
For sure. Just kind of scrolling through here, we're within range in terms of tornadic supercells with that storm relative helicity that we were talking about. You want to be between 150 to 300, but you really want to be over 260 for long track tornadoes. So that could be part of the problem of getting these to sustain, but it is within range for tornadic supercells. Same thing with bulk shear, 20 knots or higher, and we are right at about 20. So I think maybe a little bit of the problem right now in terms of these rotating a little bit more consistently is just kind of being on the lower end of those. But doesn't mean that this is not going to start to produce more, because we are in the range to want to develop tornadic supercells.
Yep. A lot of people asking to see the latest Warnon data. I will share it with you just to see. This is the 2030 Z run here. I'll turn on the road so you can see that. Again, this particular cell that we're dealing with in western Indiana is being seen quite well. And really, so is the one up near Frankfort, not as pronounced just yet. But you can see here, the storms, the cell here south of I-70, I can see where the model is getting the indication that this would be possible. You can see what it does is it, again, grows that storm east, and you get a pretty impressive, at least indication that there wants to be a stronger storm developing here out of one of these storm cells along and south of 70 here from Terre Haute. I think what the model is doing, obviously you can see what it's doing in southwest Michigan with that current storm. But I think what it's doing, Brett, if we go back to Radar Omega, you can see it's probably wanting to get going with this area in here as it kind of treks this way. That seems to be what it's doing with that particular area, and then it's taking this storm, moving it through here.
Yep.
And can't obviously rule this out moving in this direction as well. So these are 3 storm areas, at least to monitor to see what they can do. I think that's what the model's trying to do. Um, just because it's the model has it again doesn't even mean that it's guaranteed too. It's just a suggestion. Um, Regardless, we have thunderstorms on the radar that we're tracking that are capable of producing tornadoes. So that's the point here tonight. I don't think anyone is wishing that the tornadoes happen, but certainly nonetheless possible.
There's a nice comment that I saw from Lisa Spoonamore. I probably said that wrong, but I gave it a shot. You guys saved me last tornado that came through. Tree hit my home, but stayed safe thanks to your accurate warning. Appreciate that, Lisa. Thanks for following along.
Yes, very nice of you. Yeah, so no tornado warnings active in the state right now. That's a good thing. We do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. The only 2 tornado warnings right now are in Southwest Michigan. These storms right now, we're just kind of waiting to see, what are they going to do? And it's kind of a sit and wait. So, Brett, I think this might be a good time to pause.
Yep.
Guys, if we get any more tornado warnings, what we will do is certainly come back on. We're going to watch these cells closely. I certainly don't think we've seen the last tornado warning tonight by any means. So once they come back, we'll come back live.
So, yep, we still have a lot of the night. I would say from now till 10, the threat will come south as we work further into the evening, but the next 4 or 5 hours, don't let your guard down.
Yep, absolutely. Well, if you see us come back, we will be talking about the tornado warning cells. Share this with a friend. Let folks know where to come tonight. If you don't follow us, make sure you click the follow, click the like button, whatever it is. There's a lot of you watching. So make sure you're subscribed to know when we go live again, if and when we do. So, Brett, thanks, guys. See you soon.
Yep. Thank you.